Here to help us unpack new safety ratings for the Toyota Land Cruiser is Jessica Jermakian, our Senior Vice President for Vehicle Research at IIHS. Before we jump in, if you like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, or follow so you never miss new crash test ratings from IIHS. Jessica, I really appreciate you being here. We are going to talk through new safety ratings. We've got 4 new crash tests for this vehicle. Let's start with the vehicle that's behind us. It's the small overlap crash test. Can you tell us about that test and how this vehicle performed?
Yeah, so in our driver's side small overlap test, it's 40 miles per hour into a barrier with a 25% overlap, so a very narrow overlap in that frontal test. The vehicle performed really well. The structure held up, the interaction of the dummy with the restraint systems, the belts and airbags was great, and the dummy measures were all within a reasonable range.
Right, and so this is the driver's side vehicle. Now, if people look at our website, they're going to see a combined rating. It actually is 2 tests, so we do that also on the passenger side, right?
Yep, so same test, same speed. We moved the barrier over to the other side, and we put in a passenger side dummy. In that test, the structure held up, the interaction of the dummies with the restraint systems was good, and the dummy numbers were low for both dummies.
This is a test that we've been running for a number of years, so it's not necessarily a surprise that there were no downgrades, but it is really, really great to see that. Let's shift gears to another test, a newer test that unfortunately the Land Cruiser didn't do as well in. It's our updated moderate overlap test. Can you tell us about that one?
So our moderate overlap test is a 40 mile per hour test into a barrier with a 40% overlap, so a little bit more of the front structure of the vehicle running into that barrier. And in that test, we have a dummy in the driver's seat and in the rear passenger seat. For the driver dummy, everything looked pretty good. The structure held up, the interaction with the seat belts and airbags looked good. We did see a minor risk of injury to the right leg of the dummy, but otherwise the injury measures look good for that driver dummy.
And that was a pretty minor downgrade for the dummy.
It was a minor downgrade. The problem for the Land Cruiser in that test was the back seat, where we have a smaller dummy representing about a 5th percentile female or a 12 or 13-year-old. And for that dummy, we saw slightly elevated risk for head or neck injury. We saw a slightly elevated risk for chest injury, but the real issues that we saw back there was how the dummy interacted with the restraint system. The lap belt rode right off the pelvis into the soft abdomen. We call that submarining. The dummy's head also moved a little too far forward in the rear seat. We're concerned about that because a passenger sitting there could potentially hit their head on something inside of the vehicle. In the side test, the Land Cruiser did great. Got a good rating, the structure held up well, good interaction with the seat belts and airbags, and the dummy numbers were low.
So good performance in 3 tests, unfortunately came up short in that other test, which does disqualify the Land Cruiser from our Top Safety Pick or Top Safety Pick Plus award in 2026. We do have headlight ratings as well and full crash avoidance. For the Land Cruiser, you can check vehicle ratings for hundreds of models, whether it's something you already own or something you're considering. Check it out over there at ihs.org. And Jessica, thank you very much.